Yves Tumor, an artist that's been increasing in terms of my fascination over the last year. And if you anyone that's tuned into the podcast, listen to our end of year best of music last year, I threw one of his songs onto my top 10 off Heaven to a Tortured Mind, an album that came out last year that
Mhm.
garnered a lot of acclaim, a lot of attention, and rightfully so. I mean, I think especially the first half of that album is just hit after hit after hit. And Yves Tumor, I think critically has had a lot of attention since even his first album back in 2015. So when Asymptotical World, the EP, dropped this past Thursday, I was like, oh, Yves Tumor, let's tune in. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what he's cooking up. And what I really find fascinating about Yves Tumor is he really seems to kind of mesh together some aspects of like hip hop with like pure rock, which we don't really hear a lot now. And he seems to also have this personality of like a true like throwback kind of rock star to me. You watch some of the videos, you listen to some of the songs and the content, you're like, oh, this feels like kind of a throwback type of dude. And then this EP didn't really hit for me, Dave.
Mm.
And we'll get into it, but just like what were you expecting going in here? Where were you at?
Yeah, well, I only came on him last year, like a lot of people, you know, listen to Kerosene, obviously the big highlight there, and definitely really talented, really interesting, like you said, doing lots of kind of rock sounds, but like really, like I think genuinely bringing like psychedelic rock to the forefront while bringing in all
Mhm.
kinds of other stuff. It's just kind of a unique blend to hear, and a lot of the songs do go hard, and like there's also I think quite rich lyrics in songs, especially like a song like Kerosene, but they're not like soft, like laid back songs by any means. And listen to this EP, definitely surprised, didn't expect that out on Warp Records. And I was definitely struck with that lead single, Jackie, which I think
Mhm.
just, goes really hard, and the drums are awesome on that. In doing research, I noticed that this song was co-written by Chris Griotti, who has notably worked with Youngblood and Poppy, two other people that have been bringing rock ideas to the front, to the mainstream. So, bit of an interesting collaborator because it definitely feels coming into this EP, it felt like he used to more just kind of doing his own thing to beat of his own drum. But if he's got some people that have a lot of pop experience for this kind of thing working with him too, I think that really bodes well for his future. And Jackie, the vocal performance reminded me a lot of Trippy Red of all people, which he's
Hmm.
someone who likes to put himself on a pedestal as the rock star, even though he's uh, a melodic rapper. And the fact that Yves Tumor reminded me of Trippy was just funny to me because I definitely think of Yves in a much higher esteem, but
Sure.
that's what I heard, at least vocally. Then you have like these, really sick drums. So
Yeah.
I like Jackie a lot.
Yeah. Jackie, I think, is the clear standout here. And then I think the other track that probably was my favorite was Secrecy is incredibly important to the both of them. Just kind of like the guitars and like the drums, the way that they kind of just like blend together and whirl around in that really stands out as like the energy I think I was expecting from an Used Tumor drop. But then a couple of the tracks, I was saying I was a little disappointed with it. A couple of the tracks felt a little bit more toned down, I think, and maybe not in a way I found super interesting. Huck is kind of like a shoegazy type feel to it, right? And while I think certainly we've checked out a couple of shoegaze type albums, and you can. I'm trying to think of who they might have been the last couple of years, but I think like Years and Years maybe is who I'm like thinking of something like that.
Sure. The
But
second one, yeah.
yeah, but for Used Tumor, that felt just a little bit unexpected. Not necessarily bad, but I think just not what I was hoping for. Um, but I think for this being an EP, a surprise EP, this just leads me to feel like he's got a lot of inspiration right now. He's got a lot of uh, work going on, and I'm hoping that this leads to something bigger, hopefully by the end of the year or maybe early next year for him. Because I'd like to see him out there touring again. I'd like to catch him in concert if possible.
Yeah,
So,
he has a
any
tour
other?
coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
does he? Good.
hmm
Any other standouts for you?
Um, Jackie was the only one that really stuck in my mind, but he does jump around a lot on short EP, and I think that
Mhm.
just speaks to what he's been doing of late, just bringing all kinds of stuff in. And yeah, sometimes it's weird, sometimes it's not the energy you're expecting, but it's definitely not boring.
No, for sure not. Highly recommend just checking it out, and also, obviously, checking out some of his past work